What is up, everybody? Welcome back to T-Dog Customs, where we are working on this Cummins swapped YJ Jeep. I'm not sure styles of video, just right off the bat here, I want to mention this. The styles of videos, I'm not sure if it makes more sense to video like doing the work, or to do the work and then kind of recap with what I did and how I did it. I don't know. If you have a comment below on which style you think would be better, like should I video me doing all the work, or should I do the work and then come back later and kind of just give you guys updates on what I'm doing. If you have a suggestion or a preference, just drop a comment below on which style you think works best for you. Until then, I'm just going to keep doing what I've been doing, which is kind of a little bit of both, videoing some of the work and then not videoing some of it, and just kind of doing an update on what we got done. For example, we'll swing right out of the gate with this one. I put the motor mount little bushings, or whatever you want to call those, got those in, and so those are in, taken care of. I ran to the to O'Reilly's because if you remember correctly, I had this drain tube, but it's this thin stuff right here, which oil will actually seep through this. So I went ahead and picked up this really thick line right here, which I believe is oil, like rated for oil, so it won't bleed through the line like the other stuff would. The other thing is I got this for free because it was laying on the back in the shelf, and the folks at O'Reilly's was like, well, we don't really know what part number it is, so just take it. So got this for free. Hard to beat that. Let's see, something else that came in the mail today, well, a couple days ago actually. All the valve cover bolts and grommets, like the seals, I only had 3 of them, and I was missing 2 because there's 5. So I'll have 2 extras, or 3 extras, but that's just the way it goes sometimes. But what we're gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and pop this drain line on. I think I will have to heat up the end that goes down here. It's going to be a tight fit, and I think I will heat it up just so it's more pliable, and then we'll pop it on. It should fit perfect up here. Yeah, so I'll throw a clamp on up here and down there probably, but yeah, we're getting there one step at a time. Let's see. So for the return line on the fueling system, on the back of the head, maybe I should roll over this way. On the back of the head, there is a fitting for a banjo bolt. I have 2 options. I did order a banjo bolt, and I can flare out this line here and go ahead and reuse this line. Also, I bought this and the drill bit to potentially make my own banjo bolt fitting. We'll see. I'm not 100% sure on that front what we're gonna do. And then last but not least, I picked up a spring for the throttle cable. There's supposed to be a spring on here that broke, and I am going to use this one, I think, and just see if it will do the job, and we'll go from there. I need a oil dipstick tube. Before I put the starter on there, I want to get that because it's a lot easier to access that spot without the starter in there. So that's kind of where we're at the front. Going back to the fuel system, I talked about in the last video the Predator fuel pump, which is a mechanical fuel pump. I went on the website to order one, and lo and behold, it's on back order, so I couldn't even put in an order to it. So I'm still in limbo right now, trying to figure out which route I'm gonna go. If I can get a Predator fuel pump, great. If I have to go with an electronic fuel pump because I just can't get the other, then we'll have to go that route. But yeah, let me go ahead and pop this spring on real quick. A little update here. So I found a line banjo fitting that I had that will work for the injector return line. I took off the motor mounts from the block, and I just hooked up my engine hoist and dropped everything. I left the transmission mounts on, but this just gave me about 2 inches of extra space that I can work to get my hands back there. Also, I put the new oil drain line, got that tidied up. But with this, as you remember earlier, I mentioned that I did not have the banjo bolt, and I had bought a bolt. Well, this is it. Look, I made my own banjo bolt. So I put it in the vise, and I just punched out the center with a punch like this, and then I used this bit, and let me tell you, this bit, it was $8, but it cut through it like nothing. It's the Stinger anyway, Spider, and let me tell you, it cut through this bolt like nothing. Now this is not like a hardened steel bolt, so it is, you know, cheaper quality, but for a fitting like that, it's not gonna matter. Super excited that that could work, because that means I can get this return line all wrapped up. We are just knocking things out left and right. One other thing I did, I showed you guys the spring that I had bought right here. It hooks on right here on the throttle, and then there's a little bracket down here where it connects to as well. Anyways, it's plenty strong. I could always put the second one on there, but I think that's gonna do the job. Another thing real quick, this is the slave for the clutch. It's the same style as the Cummins slave. So what I'm going to try to do, it's got the same adapter, same style like this. I am going to put it in, and not tonight, but sometime else, and later on in this video probably, I'll try to bolt it in there and see exactly what, if it's strong enough to, you know, disengage the clutch. So if that is the case and it's strong enough to disengage the clutch, that will save me about $200 right there. So I'm super excited. It looks the same. The thing about like Chrysler is a lot of the stuff on the older stuff was around the same kind of design. So being that this was a Chrysler, Dodge, and that this is Jeep, which is also Chrysler, a lot of the parts are the same and look the same. So I know that this looks a lot like the Cummins style. So I'm pretty sure it'll go in there and fit. My only concern is that it may not be strong enough to disengage the clutch. But we will find out here shortly on that front. And yeah, I need to get this up and powder coated so I can get this on and not worry about it. The next step that we need to figure out is the power steering. I'll cover this a little later on, but I think we'll be able to figure something out for that very shortly. Not this weekend, but next weekend, if my boys are keeping to their word, which I don't know if they will, but they're planning on coming not this weekend, but next weekend. So we should, in the next 2 to 3 weeks, get probably almost everything wrapped up. I have the clutch line hooked up. It runs from up here down and then right to here. So it does fit, and when you press the clutch, I definitely feel like it does disengage. So we'll see. If that works, that is insane. It would be amazing. The next step we're going to work on is the fuel return line. I decided I'm going to reuse the fuel return line that came on the Jeep. So it's one of these lines here, and then I'll just run a short piece from here down. If you can see right here, you can see the start right there of the fuel return line. I just need to run my maybe put a little bend on this, bend it up, and then just run a straight line from here down to there, and it runs along the inside of the frame rail, ties right in down here. I don't know if you guys could see that, but that's what it is. So I had originally plumbed my sump in for the feed line, which is right here, and then the return line, which was right here. Well, since I'm not using that return, I'm going to block this one off. Got the return line all plumbed in, running down here. So that is a good thing. I think the next thing I'm going to tackle real quick, take off this high pressure fitting right here, and for the steering box, and plumb up this high pressure one. Once again, I am just amazed at how easy this swap is. Like the power steering pump, like we were talking about, I ended up taking off the line that came on the pump, the Cummins line, and well, the one that was on the Jeep, the one that was on the Jeep is the exact same size threads and everything. So literally I can use the line off of the Jeep, and it screws right into the back of this, and then it screws right into here. Like, just so you guys know, a 94 YJ Jeep, so far the clutch has worked, and I believe this is going to work too. So I don't know what to say, guys. I'm just speechless. It's so easy that there's no reason not to do this, guys. If you're interested, this is a 24 valve, so I don't know if 12 valves are different. Here we go. This is the high pressure line. It runs right here down, clears the steering shaft fine, runs down here, and then pops through right let's see if you guys can see that right here. So super stoked on that, and then I will be able to run the low pressure line right back around. I'm actually not 100% sure which port the low pressure one, if it's this one or this one. I'm just not sure, but high pressure, the hard part is out of the way. The rest are just some lines. I really appreciate everyone who's watching the videos, asking questions, and subscribing recently. We're at 190 subscribers. If we can get to 200 subscribers, that would be amazing. And then we'll keep on rolling up. We have gotten a lot done tonight. There is just, very productive, and it's really not going to be that long before we have this thing running and starting. So again, guys, though, thank you guys for the support, and as always, keep grinding, and I will catch you guys in the next upload. I'm out.